Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We apologize about the delay, but there was many starts, and we finally got ourselves in. But it is time. Liberty Red up against Concord Gray to see who is going to be able to come out on top. So far, so good. Liberty Red, they get themselves on the board for the first 5 points, and they got themselves a setup as well.
And as we finally get into the tank armory of Garrison, you're looking at second hardpoint rotations favoring Liberty Red at the moment, as they do have the back tank spawns in their favor, but Cryptics pushing through green room will be able to take control of radar and even possibly push out to get a little bit of an upset on this rotation.
Just trying to play for this rotation at the moment, but scrap time's still up for grabs, and Liberty Red look to be the team collecting it here, but no longer having any of those spawns in towards the back, meaning they're going to have to try and find a push through and see if they can break in towards P2. One player tries to do it from the front, and Johnny Boy has no problem finding it, but Curb actually manages to find the timing on the trade. So moving right in from a transition will be Liberty Red. Mental still playing his life in towards the back, and he might be able to find a second. He does. Big double up to be able to get themselves with a beautiful transition from P1 to P2.
And Mental, a big player that we did point out in the pregame before all the hiccups for the lobby, and him showing up already 5-2 in the lobby. A good start for them. The break finally coming through for CU Gray. 37 seconds on the time bank, so they would be able to flip it if they do bring this back. Trash comes on flying. And CU Gray looking for the scrap time. You got to look for point number 3 here. Going towards CU Gray for the first initial tick, all the way from the opposite side. And Liberty Red making the trek. Toddy with a big one-on-one across this board on AC. Roar was there, but Cryptics found that one. Now big one-on-one in the back line for Johnny Boy. If he can clean up Toddy, he doesn't even have to. Troll's going to do that. Concord, they do find the initial time for this rotation, 4 seconds until it pops.
Rotations have not been here so far for Liberty Red, but they are doing a good job of at least getting the time. That's what Concord Gray has struggled with so far. We'll see if that'll change up here for us as they are starting to close that lead. Now she's about fending off this very first push that's about to take place in through tools. Looks to be where the hit is about to take place for us. Cryptic does find that first one. Trash waits for that opportunity to pounce. Finds the kill. The trade's back and forth. Johnny Boy finds 2. And that will be good enough to hold off the push. But Curb comes close off that spawn. Lands some shots. Finds 2. Might be able to move in for a 3, but gets the help. And well, on the second attempt, they will be able to break through and fight for the time.
And they even have 30 seconds, not just the 20 to fight for. So Concord actually looking for another contestant. They do spawn out over on P number 1. So over on that point 1, I'd hope that they would rotate and look for the floating tank control, because if they can control this one, they could get a momentous amount of time here. But Mental sneaking his way up. A full 3 go down for Concord Gray, and Liberty Red starting to take control of this hard point. They have floating tank on lockdown. They have the rotations in set, and they're even flooding through to find the flip. Maybe hold on to the spawns for P5.
Sub pressure looking great. You have pressure up top and towards top green. That was one earlier there from Mental, and Mental now finds himself inside of the point. We talked about this player being the one to look out for. Not only is he slaying out, but he's also collecting the time, doing exactly what we said, as it will be 100 points now broken here for Liberty Red. They have the zoning, they have the pressure curve, trying to keep everyone away on this right side, but we will see a break inside of the point here. Troll does break his way on through. Need this kill to come through for Cryptic, and well, he will be able to do exactly that. Maybe a pinch from the side. Roar can't play his life any longer, and Johnny Boy looking to try and soak up the remaining 20 seconds here on P4.
And you have to soak up this time. I mean, you're already down by a large deficit going into this point number 5, and back tank control to Liberty Red. I mean, you look at Mental, not afraid to go toe for toe and dance the dance face to face, as he is 14-7 with 41 seconds in that hard point. So he is going to be looking to gain this time, and while his team slays out around him, just hope to soak it up and play for his life as well. You look at Roar, 3-8, had a slow start, was 0-5, starting to pick it up, and Concord fighting from the front line. Troy with some brilliant shots might be able to break through and push Liberty Red back and even find a lot of time here, enough time to tie it up.
Troll just ended up falling there, didn't have enough in the tank to be able to work for the streaks, but does do a bit of damage. Mental, little slide, trying to bait out where the positions might just be located in the hill. Cryptics will be there in the front line, but he drops. Troll now needs to try and snap for 2. He can't. Chance to break on through here for the remaining 25 seconds. Liberty Red still trying to hold on, as Johnny Boy now from the side looking to try and add in a pinch. Will be denied. Cryptics is there for the second pinch, but the nades clean him up, and we got Mental right back up top green, playing his life, holding on towards the power position here, doing everything he possibly can. So as we go through the very first set of hills, we'll have Liberty Red coming out with a nice little lead.
Mental is just such a pain back here. Finally going to be pressing on this player Trash, playing his opting to play for his life. You look at the spawns are all over the place right now. Visions at number 5. Toddy spawning all the way towards point number 3. They're going to have to fight the front of this and even try to break through green to maybe try to take control of radar, but that's still 40 seconds to go, and they have to lock this down. Curb doing a good job. He's going to drop that trophy system for defense. Has Toddy behind him, wiping the floor. Mental right now has 2 in the kill feed, 19 and 10. He's easily going to push the spawns and maybe even set up a spawn trap for bricks. Not even look to break.
Mental already on the rotation. You can't allow this rotation to be won for Liberty Red. You simply cannot, because they're still getting the scrap time at the moment. Cryptix might be able to win the battle, and he does. He finds at least 1 kill for himself. Gets traded, but contests a few seconds. Now you need to start working towards the spawns here. Trash taking an alternative route through the middle of the map, might be coming in from behind on a pinch.
Ooh.
This play could be the difference maker, but Red like a book. Toddy denies him. And once again, Concord Gray, they are fumbling the rotations. They won't get here first. They have a chance to try and break on through on this hit exactly. But you have all the ARs posted up. Roar finds the first one, tries to lock down the second. Cryptix makes his way towards the back, but there's too many Liberty Red members. They're finding everyone. They'll find the wipe, and they clear the wave.
And that is just slide after slide from Liberty Red. The cavalry came in swinging. Mental staying alive here on a 5-3, playing for that artillery strike. The rest of Concord Gray still spawning back tank. Nobody's broken through. Off-screen Roar, a big one-on-one. Troll getting that win. That's going to be the races now for point number 3. Toddy has a huge one-on-one now to find versus Troll, and he is going to be the first line of defense now for the rotation on point 3. Roar spawns in the back. Curb drops the cruise missile. And Liberty Red off of that 200-point marker now after point number 2. They're going to be looking to hold on to point 3, and this is a big, big point now, Vicious, because Liberty Red can find so much time on this. This is potential win territory.
Oh, it is, but this is interesting. They don't exactly have all the members in the back right now, so Liberty Red, they're not perfect on this rotation, but they are still in a great spot. It's just a matter of can they actually break through the front, and that's exactly what they do. Roar set up to try and lock down the kills as everyone floods in towards the point, but not going to be there for himself. Does end up falling in the end. Toddy reads one in the back, finds Cryptix. It's a battle for the front, but Liberty Red, they've been in control of the spawns, in control of the point. You need to break this from the front, and Concord Gray, they're still struggling to do so.
This is where we're seeing the mental crutch come in for Liberty Red. I mean, he is such a strong player to be looking for in a submachine gun determined map. Garrison, he is really kind of using this playground to his advantage and is running through the jungle like it's his own. 25 and 13 at the moment, has an XM4 in his back pocket. We compared him to Troll right now, who's only 19 and 21. A slow start. The Mash looking to get to him, but this is where we're seeing the different roles come into play, and this is definitely Mental's map to show. 227 seconds, Liberty Red looking to take it on floating.
How many times did they touch the hill first? The answer, too many, and now they might be able to close it out. Can they put Concord Gray in the 100-point club? Roar trying to do it, but if they do manage to get themselves over 100 points, Toddy fighting for a bit of control in and around the point, waiting for his teammates to also set up the collapse. Troll, last one left alive. He gets taken down from Mental, and you're looking at what could be our final hill. Toddy, just beautiful finesse, just maneuvering in and around like it's nothing, and he's going to add that extra support they need. Just need that extra 13 seconds to put this one away. Toddy up top, won't be able to find Troll, so still trying to stay alive is Concord, but they have to contest this one more time. Cryptix needs to win this battle. He gets cut down. Johnny Boy in towards the hill, fighting for the last couple of seconds, but his kills all in and around. That final tick sure should come through. Liberty Red playing some perfect hard point here in map number 1, Seymour, as they close this one out in dominating fashion.
Garrison, just the playground of SMGs, and Mental took it to his own to kind of blow this one through the loop. You look at him getting the best play here, snapping left, right, and center. Troll didn't know what hit him. Now this guy, you know, on hardpoint, 2.14 KD shown on the statistics board. 135 seconds average hill time, and I saw it. I checked visions. At one point in that Garrison hardpoint, he broke that 1 minute and 35 second marker on the hill time. So not just slaying out, this guy is an objective master.
It is just so incredible to see some of these young guns here and towards the CCL be able to have this much influence for as far as the slaying department and this much influence on the objective. And when you find that perfect balance between both, I mean, that's when we see a squad like Liberty Red completely take over. I mean, it wasn't close. Concord Gray, they were slow on a lot of those rotations, man. Like, if you are having the favorable spawns for hills like P2, you have to be the first team to the hill. Like, there is no excuse. There's nowhere else to kind of fit in what is going wrong for that simple reason. It's you need to get there first. You have to rotate early. You have to set up an AR on towards that SATCOM truck and stop them from pushing in towards green, because that is just too big of a mistake to be making this far in towards the game. And Liberty Red, I mean, they punished them hard for that mistake. So they come out with a very nice win here to set the tone. And well, set the tone they do, because now you have to bounce back here. Concord Gray, they're setting up here going in towards what will be a raid search and destroy. Both teams have the exact same record currently in S&D, both 6-1. But I mean, I feel like you almost need a moment here, Seymour, for the side of Concord Gray to regain, kind of just regather your thoughts going in towards this, because I mean, that first map on anticipated series to be extremely close simply wasn't.
Well, yeah, both of these teams 7-1 right here. You definitely expect it to be close. Now in Raid S&D, I want to see Concord Gray slow down the tempo, because if you're going to play up to the pace of Mental needs that. Mental wants that. He's trying to close the gap with that SMG, and he's showing that he can dance right in your face. I mean, he had so much time on the hard point, and he was slaying out like it was his job, which, I mean, technically it is out here on the CCL. So he is ready to do it, and that's exactly what he wants. So if you're Concord Gray going into this raid S&D, I want to see them slow down the tempo and play their own game of Call of Duty, because in that whole hard point, they were playing into Liberty Red's hand. They were literally feeding right out of their hand. And honestly, Liberty Red, they were sitting there, they were thinking 3 steps ahead of Concord. I mean, there was a time on the point 3 or point 4 rotations to floating tank. I saw Liberty Red pushing all the way through for those back tank spawns all the way on the other side of the map, playing for that P5, P2, and P1 kind of rotation that you have. So Liberty Red really showing that they are thinking ahead of the game, and that means that they're ready to play for the pace of the future. So Concord Gray in this raid search and destroy, I'm just gonna set it down, leave it here. They need to slow down the pace and start playing their game.
Slow it down here, and you have to do it pretty quick too as well, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of turnaround. And I mean, when you're playing in these matches and you have that first bad respawn, I think it's pretty easy to shake it off in most cases. But when you're playing up against, what is going to be a very important matchup for as far as who is coming out, second and third, because currently we have Liberty Red at that second place spot in this division. Right behind them, Concord Gray, same records, everything along those lines. They've only lost towards one team is currently in first. So I mean, this is a really important battle to see who is actually going to be able to maybe come out with this spot, and then maybe even take first, pending what ends up happening in towards these future matches and future weeks as well. So there's a lot of toss up. There's a lot in the air for as far as what we are going to get. But the simple fact is you have to be able to bounce back, and you have to bounce back very quickly. And I mean, as we get in towards raid here for ourselves, you have a 3-1 scoreline right now for Concord University. So they have been decent at it here, Seymour. And at least you can kind of keep that in the back of your mind and say, all right, we were 1-1 on Garrison, now 1-2. That's fine. We're going in towards this map, and we're going to look to try and bring this one home.
Get this, Visions. Fun fact: 5 out of the 8 players in this lobby have a 2 KD in Search and Destroy.
That's very wild.
Every single player in this lobby has a higher KD than 1.5 for Search and Destroy.
Filthy.
This is absolutely disgusting to look at for all of these players on the board. Raid S&D, definitely, you see them both at the same score line for this map. I need to see some creativity come out early for Concord. Definitely need to slow it down, like I was saying.
Yep.
But Liberty Red, they're going to look to close that gap early. And Concord, like you were saying, they need to come out the gates with their own game style. They need to change it up from that Garrison instantly. And they need to waste no time in bouncing back here, because Liberty Red, a team that plays off that fast pace, and they want to choke you out early, and they want to just set the pace and set the tempo in their own favor.
Can they do it? And we'll see if they can. I mean, there's a lot of great players that you have on this roster. It is the B team, I will say, and you are going up against the current, 24th ranked team in CCL, which is Liberty Red. They move up a spot from last week, so they get a +1 there on the board. And after beating Concord Gray, if they can, I mean, that's got to bump them up as well, because this is also one of the highly contested teams currently within their division. So I mean, there's a lot that ends up coming out on top of this if you're able to actually grab the dub. So It's just a matter of, are you going to be able to do it? And are we going to see more from Troll? I think Troll's been the player I think that we both kind of highlighted going in towards this matchup, saying, listen, he's got a lot of great KDs across each and every game mode. And this is now your time to say, all right, we need that Troll card to come out here. We got to place it. We got to lock it in. We need you to really kind of bring us to life and create some of that momentum in towards the first initial round so that you can build that confidence to say, hey, we can gun these guys. We can beat these guys. And sometimes just having that hot start is exactly what you need to be able to do exactly that. But I think we are just waiting on the lobby currently at the moment before we get ourselves in towards raid, search, and destroy. But well, we got this time, Seymour. You've been playing Call of Duty for a good amount of time. I feel like raid from back in Black Ops 2 compared to now, it is completely different. And I think a lot of people are like hypes, like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like when we used to see like the A site, for example, and we were playing around like a lot of the headies and things like this around ring, it's like beaming someone off that like was like world starring someone. Now it's like kind of pretty casual, and it happens, it feels like every single game.
You have to think though, back in Black Ops 2 when we first had raid, you had the M8, you
You
had the
definitely did.
MSMC, you
And
had the
A94,
FAL,
yeah.
you had the PDW, you had so many guns that could just beam you at range, get those like especially the FAL. I mean, I don't you remember when the FAL
Oh, I
came out,
remember.
the trigger finger, that one shot headshot potential that it came to be. I mean, if the FAL was in Call of Duty Cold War, it would be G8 on the spot like the
Yeah, it would.
AK-47 was. Like there's no sense for that gun to be here. So definitely you are right. A totally different map than it was in Black Ops 2. And everybody definitely used to that World Star or World Star type gameplay, ready to just jump out at the seam and ego chow you whenever they want. And that's where it kind of Concord Gray has to be ready for Liberty Red to do that. Concord Gray has to kind of remember that Raid is a well-known map in the Call of Duty community, 7-year-old map, and Liberty Red definitely going to be playing up in the face. Concord Gray has to be ready for that in this and pull it back early. Because I was looking at the stats here as well as we kind of pull it back to both of these Scholastic teams. I mean, you look at the control coming up, it is going to be Raid once again. We're
Right.
talking about in the past or in the last series that we saw that raid control is even on both the offense and defense. You know, it's anybody's game at that sense. It's not really favored on one side or the other. Well, raid control for Concord Gray, they have a 4-0 record here compared to Liberty Red, who is 2-1. So if Concord Gray can kind of steal away the search and destroy and have a really good showing here, they have a good chance in going up 2-1 in this series across both of these maps. And then we move into Crossroads Hardpoint. You know, you might not be as confident in that after getting smacked 250 to 111. So that's going to really kind of toss it up, and you'd have a lot of confidence to kind of play for a map 5 as S&D, where Miami is actually only played by Concord Gray, and they have a 1-0 record on it.
Just coming back to this map that we're about to get into here for S&D, because it looks like we have a bit of time. Players not starting it just yet. I feel like the biggest difference I've personally seen is now the attack towards the A site is so much more viable based off of a lot of these different angles, and no longer do you feel like you're pinned coming out of the pool house either from the top or from the bottom. You can now just go for a swim. Like I remember like back in the day, like if you got in the water, dude, like you were like trying to like run through mud or something that was like waist high, right? Like you're not going anywhere. Very difficult to do so. Yeah, now you just like, dude, I'm diving in, man. Like I'm going for a swim. I'm at Tiki already. Like, where are you guys at? Yo, you guys are still at pool house. Like I'm already here. Like you just kind of zip through now, and you're able to get this bomb down. And it feels like because there's no smokes, there's no snipers. Once you get the bomb down and you are able to then play for that post setup, it's really difficult to break a lot of these pool house setups. And it's just so interesting to see that transition from what used to be like the ring hit, the ring hit, the ring hit. All right, we got shut down 3 times. Now we're forced to go to the other bomb site. Now it's like we're actually favored to go towards this ace site, I feel like, because of the post setup and things like this. So just like these little changes that have kind of taken place here for us. Seymour and I are just kind of rambling on about the past because we got some time here, and maybe some of you guys aren't all familiar with how Raid used to play, but it certainly is a really big difference from where we used to have it.
Well, actually, you know, that the murky water kind of setup that you were talking about, you know, eventually came to like the fact that you didn't even want to jump in the water. You hopped on the edge of the map and you ran across the black wall on the side there. Definitely different this time around. I gotta ask you, Visions. We got Express, we got Raid. You know, what do you want to see coming to? I mean, we're both veterans out here in the scene. What map do you want?
You know what I want, Seymour. We want some standoff.
Yeah, we want some standoff. Yeah, of course we do.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude, you could play it on all 3 game modes, I feel like. Implement it right in, not have a problem. You know, it'd be great. It'd be great. But I guess we got Raid, so that's good enough. That's good enough. And as we say that, we are now here for map number 2. The players slow to start, but that's maybe going to be good for Concord Gray because they needed the regain after that smacking in map number 1.
Well, they just need to cool off, and here I'm gonna see the pacing right away. We were hopping on board with Liberty Red, but take a look at this hit right now. A full 4 for the Concord Gray at this A site. Let's see what the ARs can do. Toddy getting up close and personal.
I like this play. Toddy gets an opening, and he doesn't actually decide to hold open stairs. Instead, he's going to try to make some
Trash
plays in towards the middle, but that's an aggressive challenge. Curb, he's going to get picked off here from Troll on the attack. Concord Gray, they slide across. Toddy gets the information, but I mean, what exactly is it going to lead to? Toddy might be looking to try and make this move happen, try to get him off the site, does bring home the kill, and 3v3 we go.
You even know Trash is in the pool as well, so you're going to be taking as many angles as you can. That Tiki occupied. You have a player in money. Trash is going to take that gunfight. The trade comes out. Mental's going to be beamed. Trash holding his own on Tiki. Now Toddy left alone in a 1v3. Troll spots him out. The information is there. 23 seconds left in this post-plant position. That Concord Gray has is solid. Is a dynamic wall. And is brick by brick standing strong. Trash finds that 3-piece, and he locks it down for Concord.
I'm kind of glad that we got that A side hit because it really validates my point that I'm talking about when you're getting this post plant set up, right? Like, it is so difficult to do. And if your ARs are the ones that end up dropping when you're trying to play for this retake or you're trying to play for the initial defense, then you don't exactly have a window of being able to take these guys out unless you can somehow get under pool house, which is so difficult to do, especially when you're caught down in towards the numbers advantage on the opposing team. So we see Concord Gray. They strike first. They bounce back here. 3 kills come through as well for Trash to be able to set the tone early for our map number 2.
Bomb in hand of Mental. You look at this attack, it's going to be a B hit. Totally different, but look at the middle of the map. Number 3 sneaking in the back. 5 here. Curb going to be watching that. A big gunfight off screen. Already the B site, though, totally occupied by this Liberty Red squad. Cryptix is spotted, but he's going to the back of the map, and first blood goes to Liberty Red. They're getting this bomb down, post-plant positions in turn. A big round right now for Liberty Red.
You have yourself a nice man advantage. Kirby's tucked away. He's got great support over him. I mean, every angle is being watched. You got cover in towards the back. Very difficult for Trash and Troll to start moving on through. And, well, Toddy finds Troll on the retreat. Trash actually beams Mental off of the rock, but, I mean, there's still 3 players. You got to try to cut through. There is not time to do it. The challenge comes to him and Liberty Red. They're going to strike back early.
Not even pushing through pillars like that in a 1-on-3. You got that cross angle, that crossfire angle is so deadly on either side. A 1v3 is just not going to be suiting your favor. Trash comes in, Toddy feeling himself, goes for that challenge, cleans him up. A very decisive round from Liberty Red, and even checking Cryptix on that flank. Curb seeing him, playing his life and playing outside of Art, forces Cryptix to take that gunfight to Art. Mental having that cover that you were talking about, a big kill there to just stall out this retake even longer and set up that 1-on-3. So a big callback from Liberty Red to shut down Concord. And now Concord going right back to this A hit, but a little bit different from the last time. Number 2 Trash lurking.
Curb finds that opening pick, and this is looking already like much better defense. Shutting down this push, you lose that first player, and now you feel trapped because you have to go for an over-aggressive chow to try and get one back here to be able to start working for that plan. Stun check comes out. No information going to be gifted over, but Mental in the meantime finds Trash. Now a 2v4 Troll and Johnny Boy. What are you going to be able to do? You got the bomb pushed up here on A. Johnny's watching the flank, but no one is interested in being able to push all the way through. This is not looking great, and you only have 45 seconds left here on the clock to make a play.
Yeah, there's a tall glass of water right now that's already half empty. You know, Troll and Johnny Boy have to find something. They have to find something fast. 36 seconds of time taking. Johnny Boy going to be beamed by Curb and Tiki, but he hasn't spotted the player on the bomb. Troll does find his way on through and find at least one pick for Concord. They know he's there. Second one to his name. Toddy going to be out of play now. He has to make that big wrap. He has to take this challenge in kitchen. Roar going to be waiting for him laying prone. No, he actually almost finds it, but Liberty Red waiting in turn finds that 2-1. Now that switch up there, expecting a full force of hit to the A side of the map. They were ready this time. They were expecting it. They did a good job at shutting it down fast.
It's actually a good attempt from Troll. I mean, he's in the 1v4 situation, right? Has to go for the challenge. Beams Toddy, picks up that M4, and if he wins that third gunfight, he's got enough time to still make it towards either bomb site. So there is certainly a window where he's able to clutch that one up. But I mean, an excellent adjustment here for Liberty Red, stacking over towards that A site, making sure that they're suffocating their opponents, not allowing them to be able to really allow to coming through with that entry and towards that A site is really the biggest factor. So good adaptations being made, but back over towards offense here. And it looks to be the same bomb site hit for Liberty. looking to get themselves a lot of control. Last time it was by Laundry. Good shots from Cryptics. Able to find Toddy for first blood, and will be able to get out as well with his life.
This time around, Cryptics, instead of going for the flank, sets up outside of Laundry. That's a big pick as well. 2 players down for Liberty Red now. The same exact position that you saw Concord in last time, but except on the B site instead of the A site. And Johnny Boy leaving it all up to Curb, a 1v4 situation. Now, you take a look at what we saw Troll do, or Trash do. Made it interesting. Got 2 picks to his name, almost a third. What can Curb do here, Visions? I mean, maybe stalling out some time to talk with his team. They can talk it over what they want to do next time and find a few picks to his name, ultimately to go down. But Curb, providing enough time for a little bit extra kind of talking points for Liberty Red to go over. What happened that round? You didn't expect Cryptics to be that far up with that 74U. He finds that first blood, and the second one in turn just shuts it down in total. So next time around, Liberty Red might look to change it up instead of going for a B hit. Both teams on attack went for the exact same hits, and both of them finding 50% win rates across the board. So good change-ups from the defending teams the second time around, both finding success.
Concord Maroon, or rather Concord Gray, excuse me, looking to try and see if they can go back towards their A hit like they've been doing. Last time it was Curb who pretty much single-handedly shut it down. He takes some shots early. Trash into the water. Waiting for that pre-aim here. Might be some sound cues going over right now to Curb. He's pretty close, and that mantle also just came in.
Oh, he's gone.
And yeah, it looks like info might be here. Will he be expecting the prone, though? Close by it. The bomb will end up going down, and now it's going to have to be a 4v4 retake. Cryptic gets out with his life, but is it going to be for long? It is not. Curb finds that first kill. 35 seconds now on the retake. Troll finds the trade, so we will go 3v3. Trying to play his life. Trash going to get a Semtex down, but the trophy is going to eat it. Jumps into the water. No one's actually watching in the back here. This could be really big. Trash finds that first one, almost finds the second, and now Johnny Boy all alone in the 1v2. Has the Krig. Can he deliver? He cannot. We'll see Roar on the flank. And, well, another adjustment made. Not going to change anything up here for the A site.
Curb being so patient outside of Tiki, very detrimental for that win that Liberty Red just took on the A site this time around. So 2 successful defenses on the attacks at A. They lost out on that first one, but Concord only finding success that one time around. And honestly, this change up from Curb playing passively, not giving Trash that proper angle, and just honestly playing for information, sliding back and forth. Really good to stall out that player in Tiki and allow Roar to hit that flank, so that when you cleaned up that player in Tiki, you had everything in your favor. You had to make Johnny Boy worry about the bomb, the flank, and in turn, too much information for him to handle. Big round for Liberty Red to take this advantage back, and it looks like they're changing it up. A player to mid and a 3 to A.
Finally a change-up, but Trash, I mean, he finds Roar, right? First player trying to make their way out of the pool house. You have Toddy, who is working a bit of a different angle here. He has a chance to maybe play for a flank. But Mental, you got to make sure you don't die here with the bomb, brother. And, well, he goes for that peek. Does get out with his life. The nade comes in right after. Troll also forced out of money for a quick second. And Toddy actually gets caught there. So they have good information that one player is going to be working the flank. Pressure now on Liberty Red to try and drop this rock. And they're starting to also get lower and lower on time.
And Toddy does get spotted, but he was spotted by Mental, his own teammate. So was allowed to get in behind and ultimately find a kill. It gets back and just playing Laundry. Look at the split that Liberty Red has. They're going to put the bomb down on B. They have the lurker in the back. Number 5 actually spotted from Troll. So they know players in the back line, but Curb, he gets this pick onto Trash. This is going to be so hard for Concord to break on through. And Curb running amok in that back line. Left alone, Troll here to make the magic happen. 20 seconds to do so. Look, I can't see Troll doing it, but I'm open for some suggestions here, Visions. I need to see Concord Gray. I need to see them kind of commit to that challenge. I mean, you saw those shots on the Mental, but no follow-up to that player landing down. I mean, Toddy gets in the back line without anything, and with the player advantage, just some open routes that you don't expect Concord to kind of leave unchecked.
The adjustment comes in, and even with the first pick, Concord make that play. Somehow fumbled in the end, and it's a round that you would love to have after getting the first blood. But a good play here from Toddy, opening up a bit of the map, and too much of a stack here by Kitchen doesn't give them a whole lot of map control and a whole lot of information to work with. So 4-2 we go, and Concord now, they decide to hit the middle of the map on offense here. They completely stack it. Trash finds that first blood. The nade does tag up one. Everyone retreating back to try and watch this push, as it might be a quick transition right over towards A. And I mean, you have one player back basketball who is trying to watch over the site, but I mean, things are not going great, and Cryptics might be able to find an angle to push on through.
Mental got in behind Art, put some shots in to number 2, Trash, but Trash staying alive is big. Now you got basketball courts, jungle, and Art occupied by Liberty Red. They even it up 3 apiece. Bomb's not down either. Actually, it's dropped on site. So Concord Gray, they have to find at least another pick just to get that bomb down.
Oh, big kill. Roar finds Johnny Boy. Does he read the second? Troll gets the trade. 2 versus 2. Need this round if you're Concord Gray. You also have to look at getting this bomb down in the first place. Mental waiting for his chance to be able to maybe find the timing on the Trash. Trash gives him the challenge and actually beams him down. Now all up to Curb. Little check here on towards top. Pool House doesn't find it. Bomb is picked up. Curb gives away his position. Does he read the second? Yes, he does. 1v1 Troll getting the bomb down. This could be the big play. Who comes out on top? Troll looking for the challenge, but he gives him his back, but does not go down here again. Curb, what do? Do you hop on the bomb? Do you go for the peek? He goes for the peek, and Troll brings home the 1v1 and puts another round up here for Concord Gray.
And now you got to look at that play that Troll had. Now he sneaks away enough time knowing Curb is on the left side of Tiki. He has that opportunity. He takes the opportunity. Very risky, but a big payoff in turn. And that is going to be a round closer to evening it up 4 apiece. Now 3 to 4 right now for Concord. We're talking about this last defense. Liberty Red really kind of stuck to their own and really found an opening route that we didn't expect them to take. A flank through B, but that flank's not going to be in turn. Instead, a 4-hit all the way here. You're looking for the ARs in the power position of Laundry to shut this down. Johnny Boy going to be the first one up there. Is he able to find anything? Dancing around, and that is first blood to Liberty Red.
Troll, though, quick response. Trying to see if Toddy might be able to actually get some timing here. His teammate cleans him up. Cryptics out of the picture. Trash and Troll, middle of the map. They have some control here. Big gunfight there onto Roar. That's the bomb down. Curb wanted to look for a response. Reads the first one. Might go to the Diamante for the second, but doesn't want to commit to the challenge. Toddy will be able to reinforce the middle of the map here, but Troll reads it like a book. Can he slip away? This would be another big clutch up here if Troll's able to bring this one home. The bomb will be picked up, and Curb might be looking to try and lay it.
And Curb has an artillery strike. I don't know if he's used it yet, but he could check where Troll's positioning is with this score streak. Troll on the opposite side of the map. Bomb goes down at B, working that flank all the way through Art. It looks like they're going to have a gunfight. Curb back turn. Big timing for Troll. He knows he's here. Troll, you just got to work it. Curb getting even better timing all the way down to the staircase and mid-cut. This couldn't be any crazier between the two. You got 36 seconds to work for if you're Troll. Curb, he's going to spot him inside pillars, put the shots in, and this time Liberty Red come out with that one-on-one with some beautiful timing to get away.
Oh, I mean, he saw him. He saw him, and he just didn't commit to the gunfight. You can see how slow he took it, right? Like, he's just trying to check every single corner, every single angle. He wants to come out on top, but I mean, while that happens, he just runs to open stairs, and he says, listen, I'm just going to be able to have the bomb checks. I have the positioning if you go for the challenge on ring, and I think he just doesn't chase him down fast enough after seeing him on the cross there through Zig. That is very interesting. I mean, maybe coming down to a bit of the pressure that's also starting to weigh down on these guys, right? It's very, very hard to say. But 5-3, Liberty Red, a chance to close this one out and go 2-0 up in the series. And with everything they brought to the table thus far for Seymour, they're looking like they might just get there.
And Curb is 11-4 with that artillery strike still. Hasn't pulled it just yet, but it's been the sights for Concord day in and day out right here. Already working the flank. If they can make it around this number 2 player inside Art, they might have the magic, but Trash spots the flank, takes out Mental. Now Toddy is going to be that line of defense. You see a full flank come out. Toddy's going to be here. 2 players peek. A bad timing for Toddy. Now Concord, a big opportunity to take this back.
Yeah, and Trash has already cleared this area. So he's saying, listen, guys, ring's clear. Garden's good. I'm trying to work in towards Laundry. And if I can get this power position, we can just plant for their side right now. Very widespread, though. Not very tight setup. Trash, realizing this, knows he doesn't want to throw his life away. Nade comes over, doesn't connect. And the retake looks to come in from the back as the bomb does go down. Roar finds that first kill, turns things in towards even odds. 2v2 with 30 seconds, trying to work through in towards the back. Roar looking to see if he might be able to light up a second. It's Cryptic's close. Tries to snap for one. Does find the kill. And now it's going to be all up to Troll to see if he can clutch up another round here for his team. Curb, is he going to read the position he was in last time? He gets the cross. He gets the info. He's hopping on it, Seymour. He's looking to try to get this defuse in. I don't think he gets it. Maybe if he goes...
What are you doing?
They just shoot him. Oh, my Lord. If he prones there, that defuse might just go through.
How are you going to do that to me? Pulls the nade and not the shot. Wow, if you were a second later to that corner and pulled that nade, that you would have lost that map. But Troll, 3 one-on-ones in a row, and he is 2-1 for those finishers. He is really showing up for this Concord Grey, really bringing his all to the search and destroy, and really looking to want that 8-1 score line in their series. You see another A hit, B hit come out for the side of Liberty Red. Very, very thorough, very decisive. Already pillar control to their hand. They got to get that bomb down, set up for it, and look, suffocating around them. Concord Grey setting up for a very late retake.
And you can see the defense here. Johnny Boy, he's waiting for this. 1-8 right now for Johnny Boy, but a chance to redeem himself. Lands the shots, can't finish the kill. Info, though, you know they're probably got this bomb by B with the push that they just made. You got a full stack in towards the middle. Not an easy site to go for a retake, but they're going to have to find out a way to try and do this.
Look at this post plants. Yeah, Curb setting up on Art. 3 people on the laundry side of the map now. A full flood through Art and pillars. This is going to be a bloodbath.
Oh. It looks to be. 25 seconds. You got to move. You got to go. Concord Grey, they're taking too much time off the clock, but they do work for the first kill. Mental trying to play and lay down on Garden. He loses 2 of his teammates. Forced the challenge. Troll finds another one, and now it's all up to Toddy. Toddy through the middle of the map. He's just got to find the bomb planter. Can he get himself one? No, he can't. The team kills there, but doesn't matter. Concord Grey, they get down to the wire on the retake there, Seymour, but in the end, they make it work, and we're going to round 11.
Now, Curb and Mental had the crossfire on pillars. Both of them were watching the middle of the map. That allowed Troll to get onto this van. Not just find 1, not just find 2, but find 3 players locking down those post-plant positions visions. A big individual play all game long from Troll. He's on a 4 straight, 14-5. He is single-handedly holding Concord Grey in this search and destroy. We got a round 11. And it looks like another B hit for Liberty Red. All 4 players are running to it. But last time Concord, they were able to break through. Will they be able to do it again?
This was their bread and butter at the beginning of the game. And that's been shut down as of that last round. But they want to go for a quick plant. And they only have Johnny Boy in the back here trying to play defense. He gets away with 1. That's all he had to do. 3v3. Can you clutch up here? If you're Concord, it's looking good because Troll just found 2. Mental, now the last one left alive. Trash finds him. And Concord Grey, they take 3 rounds straight here in map number 2 to make sure they do not go 0-2 down in the series. And they tie things up at 1 apiece.
Oh, baby, we got a game, Visions. Wow. Bringing it all the way back to a round 11. Curb, the first player to go down in laundry. He never got a chance to use his artillery strike. He had that streak all game long and never dropped it down on the suburbs of Raid. We are tied up 1-1. A very, very one-sided hard point and a dead even search and destroy. Raid control is going to be interesting.
It sure will. I mean, just a fantastic comeback. I was almost counting Concord Grey out. Looks like they were starting to let some of that pressure seep in. But when it comes down to crunch time, Troll, really the player to highlight. And he steps up big to make sure that they will see at least a map number 4 here in this best of 5. But ladies and gentlemen, we've had some breaks, but we got to throw it to another one. We're going to be switching hosts, but we got a tied series 1-1, and we come back. Someone's taking the swing map. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just tuning in, we got a fantastic series here on our hands. Incredible comeback here for the side of Concord Grey. And now we're going in towards the swing map to see who is going to take the series lead. And we got ourselves a raid control to do it here, Seymour.
Now this is going to be interesting. I mean, you just saw Concord Gray in around 11 bring the W after 3 rounds in a row in that search. And now let's see if they can continue it in the suburbs. It's going to be an A hit for Liberty Red. Going to get a lot of time here. Maybe even one tick of progression. Mental the last one here as everybody on his team falls. He gets that tick of progression. The contest finally comes in. A wipe on the A side. But that's a go-ahead for B now as Liberty Red taking their sights to the opposite side of the map.
Oh, big kill there in the middle. This means that you can now look to try and cut this push off, but Curb actually wins the first battle. So making their way towards B, stalling the clock here at about 1:11. Curb's also trying to hold on towards this open stairs area, so his teammates can try and force on towards that first tick. First tick looks to be well on its way. One push here from the middle. Mental clean shots. Absolutely rips the head off Johnny Boy. Able to create a bit of space now as Cryptic still trying to hold on towards the middle, but progress still coming through by B.
This is a good time right now on the B side. You do see finally Troll setting up, but they have a split push on B and A, so time gained on both sides, and they're going to contest and find the second tick at A, and maybe even if Mental can find this kill, a full 3 on the A side of the map. So they do. 2 minutes and 10 seconds on the board. 21 lives for Concord, 19 for Liberty. You have 2 ticks of progression at B, but I mean, you know the B-side visions. This could be a good chance for Concord Gray to just shut down and really hold their own. And Johnny Boy's some big trigger discipline. Only gets one. Toddy cleans him up, but a solid opportunity.
He gets the info at least. The push is coming from the back. And now we'll see if they can actually hold on to it. They have good control inside of Kitchen right now. Liberty Red, I mean, they just need one wipe and they can stack this zone. And they're going to stack it, at least get one on it right away. Johnny Boy with the challenge. Does not check the right corner. The collapse is in for Mental. He's trying to play his life. He'll be taken out from the side. Now it's going to be just Toddy so far on this side of the map where he needs to try to play for a couple of kills. And while he is delivering, as he actually manages to find 2.
And look at these players spawning all the way over at Laundry for Concord. The more Mental gets, the more Liberty Red spawns out Concord. Now Toddy on a 5 spree here. Everybody pushing through kitchens. Now time for this third tick. Roar's going to be here. Finds 2 inside bank. And look at how fast they're getting progression. If you don't touch your Liberty, they're going to find an easy B hit as soon as, like you say, they find that full wipe. And with those kills from Toddy, with that positioning inside kitchen and pool being locked down from Liberty Red, so everybody, every single kill that Liberty Red got, Concord would just spawn over at Laundry. And I mean, the more you get, just the more space you would be taking in. As they pound away at Concord Gray, they find that space, so much progression, and such a fast cap.
And that's the big factor about raid control. As soon as you stack one side of the map defensively, you have to be prepared to make the rotation towards the next side, because that's how the spawn system works here for us on the map. So have to be on your toes at all times. Seems like maybe a bit of confusion on where Concord Gray are looking to try and set up their first initial hit. Not what you want to see going in already around down, but they do find themselves on towards A nonetheless. Johnny Boy will be blooded, and now they're starting to lose all the players in and around the point here. It's just a stack inside. Toddy finds 2, Mental finds the 4th, and look at player 4. He's already prepared for that hit over towards B. This is what Concord didn't have in Curb. He's already picking this up.
Well, this is your on the toes thinking that you were talking about Concord needed. Curb doing exactly the right things at the right time. 2 kills to his name for the second push. Toddy taking some real estate inside the spawn of Concord Gray. He does get cleaned up finally, but that's just so much pressure that Liberty is applying. I mean, every single kill they get when they're in the spawn, they are just going to take that and run with it. Now they are 7 lives up, make that 8 lives up, as Concord Gray are down to 20. Cryptic's finally putting a foot on the site, but Toddy swipes from pillars to take down 2. This is a very tough push from Concord Gray, as Liberty Red playing very textbook control.
Textbook control and Mental. He's right back off the respawn. Looking to cause some havoc here on the A zone. He finds a pinch in from behind. Easy first kill. Teammate helps him with Cryptics. Just need to find one more here. Mental will be able to dodge this shot punch, and they clear everything out by A. We'll see a bit of arc control and mid-map control on the attack, so this might be a window to try and push towards B, but not before Mental gets an XM4 in his hands and finds himself one on the rotation.
And now you got that split crossfire watching the window. Johnny Boy, you're going to be naded out. Trophies to some defense him. He's going to put some shots on. 2 players on the upside of the map fall. And you got progression at A from number 8. That's going to be on the A side. Johnny Boy on the B side. 2 players on. So much progression now on this half the map. You have to split your players if you're Liberty Red, and that is going to be Concord Gray finding the B site, a big site, because the A, if you slow this down, if you group up the A site, definitely a lot easier to kind of push.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to hold too once you get the setup in. The problem, you got 11 lives to do it. We'll see if that plays a factor. Liberty Red currently on 16. Minute 10 to work with. Toddy, responsible for watching the back, realizes the push might not be here. Mental, just a couple jump peeks here. He gets tagged up, and Trash does finish him off. So a chance now to make this push happen. The surge is in. Curb from up top. Needs to find value, but more importantly, they might have to get someone on the zone to start contesting. That's exactly what they do. Toddy and Roar, they find players in the middle of the map. Last one here is Trash, and Trash will be cleaned up as that second hit did not come all the way through.
And now it's time to push the spawns. You got double the amount of lives and counting. It's Concord Gray really struggling in this control right now in this second round after having a very clean wipe for Liberty Red on that first attack. Like I said, I call it textbook control, and that's what they do. They're not biting off too much. They are not pushing too aggressively. They're just doing the right things and what they need to do to force Concord Gray on the back end. And Concord, 3 players on site. Mental gets the back line, doing the damage that A needs. 2 takes aggression at A. 2 lives remaining for Concord Gray. Liberty Red makes it 1. Trash on the site. Oh, he actually, if he dances around, he could cap this, but he is finally cleaned up. Close call, but Liberty Red in a better position.
Yeah, it was actually pretty close. Really close to come through, and maybe it would have been a bit of a misplay if he was able to get it all the way through, but Liberty Red, they recognized, they make the play, and it was a lot of pinches. I feel like that's the biggest factor here. A lot of the submachine guns are just getting in behind enemy lines, being able to find these opportunities to pinch and find multi-kills, which is just kind of stopping you from getting into an effective setup right now. Certainly a problem for the side of Concord, and they now find themselves 0-2 down, where they have to convert here on defense. Last time it was the B zone that went over first and went over pretty quickly. That can't happen this time around. You have to get yourself locked down. We'll see what they do differently. Just going to send 2 middle and 2 over towards A, and they are reading the push here off the bat.
And it's something that you were saying. I mean, those SMG kills through the spawn, just you find 1 or 2, that's just going to provide you so much more than the attacker's positioning. Toddy slaying the lanes with his SMG, and he is going for more. He is going for jungle control. He does not want to peek too much. He's just sitting on this heady, making sure that nobody can contest from the laundry side of the map, and it's going to force the retake to come through pillars, and through that you have a player in Art and 2 players on Prism to watch that. Concord Gray, they have to give it up. They're down by 3 lives, and that's an easy cap on the A side.
Easy cap. Have to concede it. Now you have to hold for 2 minutes and 10 seconds here. Tall order. Can they do it and send us to round 4? We're about to find out. Toddy, he finds the first kill on transition. Mental already clears out Kitchen. You have to realize it's a close stack here, pretty tight on top of the point, and Mental actually works for the second. You have 4 members here from Liberty Red. They're all set up inside of Kitchen, just waiting to find kills so that they can start to make their move on towards this B point. Mental might be the one to start to do it, but he's on 5, so, or rather he's on 2, and Toddy's actually on 5. He's working towards streaks right now, seeing if he might be able to get it. That's long range shots. He doesn't want to take them, so instead just going to try and play his life for now.
Oh, Troll, opportunity in the back. Should have heard the glass break. Curb, poor timing. Troll in the back line cleans him up. This is what you want from Concord. You need a player on the bedroom side of the map. Let's see what Troll can do in that situation. Actually shuts down Toddy's streak. That's a big kill. And now he's going to be looking for more off-screen. Troll does go down, but that is a solid play from Concord to kind of slow this down, pull the pacing back in your favor. And honestly, a good chance. You have trimmed off a whole minute from the time bank.
A whole minute for Concord Gray, holding on with everything they got. Life's still plenty to play with here. Likely won't come down to that for the round, or trying to go for the shot punch. Does do the damage, but can't finish him off with a bullet. Curb now forced to try and play his life while his teammates come off the respawn. Reinforcements are in. Push about to take place as Trash shuts down that first player. Starting to make his move inside of the point. Now Kitchen control the next one up, but I mean, you're seeing it being held right now. Concord Gray making the adjustments, holding on towards the setup, not allowing easy access towards the zone. And finally, Curb's going to try and get on it, but Cryptix is going to be able to clean him right up.
And you saw that 1 kill that Concord Gray got in the middle of the map. Yeah, I mean, Liberty Red finds 2 in the midst of it, but that 1 kill makes it so hard to step onto that B site. Concord Gray doing a good job at getting the right kills at the right time. Mental breaks through, but there's a crossfire in that. He is not going to win it out. You're down to 19 seconds. You got a player on it to stop the clock. Curb doing his all. Toddy dipping, diving. Troll cleans him up. Concord Gray have to wipe this. Curb doing a good job. You got the back end of Roarer. And the flood coming through as well. 11 lives to 11. One ticket progression. It's coming down to the time bank. I don't think it's going to come to the lives vision.
Doesn't look like it will, but they are stacking. If they can hold on, maybe they could do it, but I think some team shots came through there. Toddy finds one, but weakens his teammate up. Curb here from the side. Does stop the clock. Second tick might just be there, and it is. Finds a snap onto one. Reads the second in the back. Cryptic's the last one up. Forced to play his life, but you can stack this zone right now. You can win it if you're Liberty Red. Someone's got to get in for the touch, and they can't. The last second push is good. Liberty Red, they come through with the hot 3-0 in map number 3.
And you know, Vision, that was nothing special. That was not crazy. That was just textbook from Liberty Red. I mean, they showed such good control on this map. They showed such good pacing. And honestly, the transitions from site to site were just well communicated, and they were adjusting the proper ways to what Concord was bringing to them. Now, Concord had their best opportunity on that last point, on that last set of defense. And really, when it came down to it, just the sheer aggression of Liberty Red and that the relentless, just one after the other pressure that Concord had to deal with. Eventually, somebody broke through and they spawned out Concord back to that laundry site, just like the last time they were on attack. And they stacked it. They got the cap fast. That's a 3-0, as telling as you could need. I mean, Liberty Red, they just had full control of that control every single round.
Yeah, I mean, Liberty Red looked good, right? Like they understood what needed to be picked up at what times. And I think there was kind of just going back to the problems that we had for Concord Gray in the map number 1. It was just a lack of the rotations, right? It's just the fundamentals aren't really being followed. And if you aren't following the fundamentals, whether you're a strong team or not, for as far as, being able to win a lot of individual gunfights or slay out, that's not going to play a factor against some of these good teams that are really going to punish you for making those mistakes. And that's what we've gotten. Liberty Red, I mean, really have been looking solid in the respawns. And this was a series they very likely could have just tightened up 3-0, right? And just completely just gone away with it, called it a night. But it was a comeback in the S&D that allows Concord Gray to at least have another opportunity at being able to keep this series going. But I mean, if we're going to see Crossroads Hardpoint, the best thing here is like rotations don't necessarily always matter. So if you're bad at rotating here, Seymour, you don't got to run very far to get towards the hill.
And you don't even have to deal with the back spawns of Top Rock anymore. I mean, because point 4, I don't know if anybody checked recently in the past couple of weeks of Call of Duty, but Crossroads is a totally different hardpoint map. Point 4 has moved from the back of Top Rock all the way over to Frozen Water on the top of the mini map. So it's going to be very different. If I'm looking at Liberty Red with the AR control that they've been showing and the amount of pressure that they've been showing up close and personal from Mental, I feel like Crossroads it's favoring the red team here. I mean, Concord, great. They really have to show me something because, yeah, you're saying that those rotations, they don't really matter on a map like Crossroads, especially with this new hardpoint that's coming in turn. But I mean, when you're going for those one-on-ones, when you're going through those kind of close battles, in the midst of it, the trades always favor Liberty Red. And when you're looking at Crossroads, trades are so important.
So important. And this is just going to be really big on the SMGs because I don't think we've seen enough out of the submachine gun players to really say, all right, they have it in them to still do this. Just a matter of, are they going to be able to, like you said, play for these trades, find these breaks and actually get set up first and then hold on towards the setups. It's one thing to be set up first and win the rotation, but it's another to actually hold on towards it for, at least a good 30 seconds to come out with a 50-50 at the worst. So it is going to be problematic, but I still have faith in these guys. I mean, they showed us a lot of great things individually. I just think that there's really maybe a missing shot caller, not getting everyone on the same page for when these, in-game decisions have to be made, where these rotations towards the other control point, the new hill, are being called for. Like, it's these little things that we don't necessarily know behind the scenes for as far as these squads and whether or not they're actually being met like we would typically expect them at a high level Call of Duty. So it is kind of, the question mark for me right now going towards this, because there needs to be someone that needs to step up here for us. I think we've gotten a lot out of Troll. He's delivered as much as he possibly could. I mean, he is the main reason, let's be honest, that we were even going to a map number 4 on Crossroads Hardpoint off the back end of a lot of his individual clutches that took place in towards the map number 2 on Raid. So there is a lot on the line here, and we need someone other than Troll to bring us some of that heat for this map 4 here, Seymour. I mean, it's simple as that.
I was just about to say, I mean, Troll has literally been given his heart and soul in this series against the Liberty Red, and he had such a strong start to that controlled map back in on Raid for our third setup. But he slowed down as it went on, and we really didn't see him come back into it into that last set of defensive play. And if you're gonna need Troll for example to just be consistent throughout this whole map because he has been that player to show up. And
Mhm.
maybe that will inspire the rest of them. I mean, I saw Trash in that S&D show some grit as well. If he can show up in this hard point, you'd have both assault rifle players, both XM4 players, really bringing them their all on a map like Crossroads, and very SMG favored. But if you can control the spawns, if you can control the pace from the sides of the map, possibly Concord could sneak one away here. But it is a tough task, and it's a lot to ask. You're going to need to see Concord Brave bring everything to send us to a Miami Search and Destroy.
And as we talk about Crossroads, we talked about a change, having probably just about over a week now to be able to play on this new patch, get a feel for how it's going to work out here for us. I mean, a huge part of this control now is making sure you have a player in control itself and a player in weapons defending some of these top bridge entry points towards the hill so that you're not able to kind of find the legs, the players laying down, and being able to get in from behind. So we'll be watching a lot for those as we get ready to jump in towards that new hill that is going to be down by ice by the boxes. But ladies and gents, we got map 4. It's going to be Crossroads, of course. And well, this is do or die now for Concord Gray. Do they have it in them? Can they make the adjustments? We're about to find out.
Well, you look on paper, both these teams 1-0 for Crossroads Hardpoint. Let's get this ball rolling. Let's see what they have to offer. Point number 1, another bloodbath hardpoint. Roar goes for the sandbags. Beams, Troll, 2 players already down for Concord. Make it 3. Johnny Boy standing tall on this hardpoint before he's cleaned up. That is a big, big wipe from Liberty Red to start this off. And spawning all the way top rock is going to be Concord Gray as point 2 spawns favoring Liberty Red. And that is going to be big for the initial rotation.
Good gun battles here off the start. Just scrappy as we typically expect P1 to be, but already fighting here in towards the back. Troll might have found the window, be able to force these spawns out. He finds a kill from the side. Easy pickup for him. Mental, last one in the back, and well, does get the spawns in as they actually manage to clean up Troll. So what a lot of flip to come through, but Trash gets a godlike spawn here behind P2, and is he going to be able to take advantage of it? I don't think so. Everyone spawns right back in, and we're going to have Mental set up in the hill, ready and waiting.
This is big time right now for Concord because they're going to need a little bit of a cushion pushing this second hard point. They are going to have about a 20-second lead going into it. Surrounding from the sandbag side, you see that AR presence in the back. Roarer 7 and 3 right now. Starting his streak, looking for more, gets in behind. Tie game now for both teams. Look how far back Concord is spawning. They're still going to be dedicating themselves. You got 40 seconds on this bank, but Mental running amok right now on the site. And as this time grows lower and your players for Concord keep spawning back rock, you might want to see them rotate for ammunitions a little bit early.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key factor right there. Are they going to set up early and actually just say, listen, we didn't get the fight for this time. 40 seconds, it's gone. 20 seconds is left. They're going to give it one more hit. And now let's take a look at where the spawns are going to be because you have player 5 in the back right now. He dies the Roar. Curb also adds in the reinforcements to back him up. So you split basically what was a 45-15 on towards P2. And now you make this transition where the setup is in. Liberty Red, they're always on rotation. They're always beating them there. And once again, they find themselves on the initial time first.
And that's just not it. That's just a bad call from Concord. You really needed that rotation to ammunitions. And now look at it. Mental just doing exactly what he did on P2, slaying through the lanes, making sure that Concord Gray spawning out and having them waste so much time on this hard point. If you do the exact same thing, if Mental slays the lane, then Concord Gray might get that break on that 20-second marker again, but split it 45-15 once again, Visions. And if you're Liberty Red, that's exactly what you want to do every single hard point. Concord Gray, they do find the break on the front line. They are gaining some time here, 22 seconds left. And that is going to be honestly a blessing for this Gray squad.
Blessing for sure. They managed to fight in and they managed to hold it. So the game, no means out of hands, but rotation's still a problem. We'll keep an eye on that as we go throughout the rest of this map. Mental, unfortunate stun will take out Toddy, who I think was on a bit of a spree here, but Kurt, he's in the new hill first. Very difficult hill to try and lock down. There's a lot of openings that you could be shot from, so you have to be able to control at least one side of the map. Cryptix, he finds a window in, but won't be able to win the battle. It's Johnny Boy up top who finds himself a kill. Still Liberty Red soaking up the time. No one's been able to get Curve off of it so far, and he's winning out of his battle. So this is a great defensive hold in and around the point, not allowing anyone from Concord Gray, be able to get in towards B4 just yet.
And now you have a 30-point lead with another 30 in the bank to gain. You're going to be looking. This is actually the first time I've seen Concord Gray actually play for the future of these spawns. They're pushing through Garage. They wipe down 3. They uproot these .2 spawns, and that's going to be big for the rotation back to P number 1. Concord Gray, the smartest play I've seen them yet in hardpoint. Keeping this one close, keeping it interesting, and honestly, a big opportunity for them to pull this back on the rotation.
Oh, I just love to see them touch a hill first. This is seriously more. That's what I would really like to see.
Me too.
We'll see if it happens. They clean up a good part of the map here, and this is finally, they did it. They did it. They got to the hill first, baby. They weren't set up, but that's fine. They won the gunfights. Concord Gray, they are still in this one. They have about a couple players actually on sprees here, which could play a factor for as far as the streaks on towards some of these open hills. Troll trying to play his life. He's got 6 in a row. Needs to maybe play a little bit more passive. Would love to see him do it, but might go for the challenge. Toddy up top. He's good. Gets himself 1 streak. Goes to the pistol for 2. Big plays from Troll. Trying to step up and go big, and he's still not done. Finding kills in and around P1. Playing his life, and he is fully streaked out.
Troll is an animal. You know what happens when you back an animal in his cage? He bites back. Troll 20 and 11 right now. 3 players wiped from Liberty Red. .2 spawns favoring Concord Gray. They break the 100 marker. We're about to see a flip in the advantage now as Concord Gray find their first lead in the hard point we've seen just yet. Finally a break from Liberty Red, but .2 favoring this Concord squad. Toddy working from sandbags, looking to uproot these spawns.
This is fine. You got yourself Troll in the back, but Troll needed to win that battle there, so this could be a potential flip if they can flood the back with numbers. And look at that. Player 8, player 5 here from side of Concord Gray. They have spawned out. Roar making his way inside. He'll be hard anchoring the back here as you do have a window for Trash to maybe start moving on through. It's Toddy inside the point, just looking straight up, waiting for that push, but he's got the Krig. It's not the best gun that you'd want, and Trash will be able to make slight work of him with that XM4. So right back in the hill is Concord, but will it be for long? Mental from the side, waiting for that window to be able to pounce. Doesn't need to go into the hill fully because Roar is there, and once again, rotation needs to be played for, and now we'll see if Concord Gray can actually set up.
It looks like Concord's they're actually thinking ahead. They're doing it again. They're gonna look for the play for the initial time on ammunitions. This is the Concord Gray I expected. This is what I wanted to see, and honestly, this is the series that we predicted. A close hardpoint across the board. Crossroads interesting at the least.
This is honestly this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Listen to what we have said. Adjustments are in Concord Gray. They are about to take control of the game here once again, but will they be able to hold on? The break attempt from the back looks good here. They will pinch it, and that means they break the setup. So only holding on to about 20 seconds worth of time. Now pressure back on Concord Gray as they need to set up their next hit to try and break in towards this point. Curve has been great at opening up on these angles, trying to find some of the players making their way towards the point. Biding his time, making sure they're not going to be able to make that easy move in. And this looks to be good maybe for the last 20 seconds for the side of Liberty Red.
And now you think, I mean, Concord Gray finally thinking ahead, going for these spawns, but they have to lock down the points now. It's the second step in their keys to victory, is that you got the rotations, now you need to hold the rotations. You have the artillery strike on Troll as well, Visions, and this is the only site. Well, actually, there's the first and fourth, but this is a good site to pull those streaks out and possibly keep Liberty Red off. Toddy's on a 5-3 playing for streaks himself. Said he was, but I guess he's not anymore. He gets cleaned up. Curb here, pushing on through. 3 go down. Liberty Red touching down 194 to 150. So they're looking to break the 200 points.
Looking to break 200. The flood is there, and now it's Toddy up top, but Troll finds him. Mental with the trade. It's a brawl. It's a battle. 30 seconds would be great for Concord Gray to be able to clean up because it would allow them to basically tie this game up, but we still know how difficult it can be to find some of these angles. Curb might have done it. He did it last time, and he cleans up the second player on the time here. I mean, just great stuff from the sub player. Curb doing what he can. Johnny trying to watch the cross, but Roar just has his way with them. Takes them out. Almost finds Troll as well. Scrap time will be fought for, but the attention back towards P1. He gets who's here, Toddy, and he wins that one-on-one battle.
I don't even know. Has Troll used that artillery strike? Because it's either 0.1 or 0.4, and this is the last opportunity he might have to use it. And if I was him, I would zone these players off immediately. Cryptics, if you start heating up 12 and 22, this might be what you need. Cruise missiles on board, takes out 2, clears the point. That's what you want. If 3 players goes down, Concord Gray, it's their opportunity to strike.
Opportunity to strike. Looking to tie this one up and maybe even send it to a map 5 for us. Troll finds the next. Actually manages to find himself too. Toddy trying to respond back, almost doubles up himself, but it's still Cryptics inside of the point. Time going over towards Concord, but Curb looking to try and put a dent into it once again, almost finding himself too. It's trades, it's chaotic, it's all over the place. Scrap time. Looks like it might be going over towards Concord, but we look at P2. The setup right now, everyone here for Liberty Red, and they're clearing out some spacing towards the middle of the map.
When it's chaotic, well, it's crossroads, baby. That's what you want here now. Pretty much a tie game, pushing to this point too. And this time around, Liberty Red with the spawn advantage. Curb goes down, a chance for a break, but Liberty Red stay tall here. This is going to be some big time gain. Trash going down, another big spree for Mental. And this is starting to get dangerous.
Break. He can't let the time go over. Troll invests the second streak. Only finds himself a kill, but that's fine because he opens up the space. Troll manages to find 3 out of 4. Moving in, clearing up the point. And this is still Concord Gray in this game right now. Now, do Liberty Red chalk this scrap time, or do they set up new? With those kills coming in, they want to give it one last good push. And now it's Troll, forced to try and play his life. He finds himself one and only one. You can't win the game here if you're Liberty Red, so you know if you're Concord Gray, if you lock down the setup, you can still win this game.
Oh, this isn't what you want, Roarer. If he finds a kill here, Troll's gonna be watching it. Big one-on-one, Troll wins it out. Ammunitions, you need 10 seconds if you're Liberty Red. Mental goes down, but at Concord, they need 40. You look at this. These are some big kills on the front line. Curb's going to get in there for 2. Trades back and forth. The conditions on point. Troll finds it, but suffocation in the end. Liberty Red pull the spawns from the side. They get themselves on the point. Now they only need 5 seconds left. Visions. Trades back and forth. Absolute carnage. Toddy's here for 3 seconds left. He gets the pick. That's going to be Liberty Red finding the last round. Taking the game in 4. 250 to 221. In the end, we got a war.
Respawns, man, they're too good. They're way too good for Liberty Red. They're just always a step ahead, and they're just holding on towards their setups, it feels like, in just about every single one of their hard points. We saw it take place to the control with the hot 3-0. This map, a lot closer. Concord certainly made some adjustments, cleaned some of those rotations up, but they were still mainly a step behind, it felt like, for the most part. Liberty Red really bringing it to them, and based off of what we just got, we also got a guaranteed second seed here in this Appalachian division here for us. And well, that is going to be Liberty Red, of course, taking that second place. Looking good, looking solid. And I think Concord Gray, there's a lot to be learned here, but this, in the end, is still a very difficult series going up against these opponents that are in the top 25 here at the moment.
Now, I was just about to say, this number 24 Liberty Red squad, you clean up that search and destroy a little bit, because at the end you kind of fell over and dropped your pasta, but you clean that up, and you might even be able to push yourself farther into that top 25 marker, going into the second split for the CCL season. So I like what I'm seeing from Liberty Red, and if they clean up that search and destroy, if they make it a little bit more convincing, they could definitely make a marker in this CCL season here. Now, I'm not saying Concord can't either, but it's just by the time that they started finding those rotations early and started thinking ahead, it was already too late. They were already fighting from the back end on that crossroads hard point. Now, they go back for the VODs visions. If they look through that and they realize that the success was really coming off those rotations, you run the series back, you run that garrison back, you run the crossroads back. And I think Concord could have pulled a few respawns. They just showed up a little bit too late to the party.
Too late to the party. Not going to have enough of the tank to bring it home. But Liberty Red, on the other hand, boy, oh boy, are they looking scary here in this division. And, well, looking pretty scary, maybe even going in towards playoffs, so they can keep up this tempo of play. Respawns were great. They come ahead with a 3-1. That was our second series that we just had there for ourselves, but we still got one more to end the night, and that is going to be NJIT Red going up against Brock Red. Of course, it's going to be Mick and Proper on the cast, finishing out the night here on the Bravo stream. So we're going to throw things to a break. Don't go too far. Third series coming up after this.